Fifth Hour Radio Show.
Brandon, start off giving us some insight into why you wanted to get into politics. Was this a goal of yours back in high school? Was it something that came to you later in life?
No, Rob, I never really wanted to run, to be honest with you. I got asked when I was 26 and 28 to run, and I said no. But, I've always been around it with my family, Rob. I mean, my dad and uncles, I've been singing gospel music and country for over, a lot of years. And I just, grew up around the public, and then my dad and Uncle David got into politics, and my Uncle David, of course, was state rep for a while, and then he was congressman. So I was just always around the public and, just wanted to serve and learn from my family.
As far as close family and friends go, was everyone fairly supportive of your decision to run for a seat in the General Assembly?
They were. I got a lot of help from my family, and, I wouldn't be the person I am today, Rob, without my family.
Because when you do that, you really put yourself out there as far as public criticism.
Yeah, you do, and it's tough because you have a lot of people that gun for you, so to speak, and they go after you and like to knock you down. But you got to have thick skin in this arena, and I think I do.
What was the first year you won the 118th district? What was the first year?
2002.
Once you won, what was the transition like? Did you ever feel overwhelmed at all in those early days? I mean, you are human. Was it all you expected? A little bit more than you expected?
A little more than you expect. When you represent 110,000 people, especially in my area, there's a lot of people that rely on you, and they need you to try to make their life better, and also the place they live better. So that's what I'm trying to do. I have given up a lot in my life for others, but I tell you what, Rob, I really, really love my district. I love the people there, and all I'm trying to do is the most I can for them.
The position you hold has to be very demanding. How do you schedule and plan for everything you have to be a part of and still have a personal life?
Well, it's tough. I mean, I miss my little girl. Miss my family a lot because I'm in Springfield, about 6 months a year. And it's tough, but, having a close family, they know I'm doing the best I can for others, and they understand that. So, you just got to make time, and you get up early and you go to bed late.
Does it just get overwhelming for you sometimes?
Well, it can. It can. You do have to take some time for yourself and others and your close ones, and so I think I've done a pretty good job in the 12 years I've been there to make sure my family knows how much I love them.
I ask this question a lot to a lot of famous musicians, and I want to word it so it fits your situation. Other than when you were elected, was there that actual moment in time when you feel you really made your mark, when people heard your name and correlated that with doing a good job, doing what you were supposed to do in the position that you're in?
Yeah, Rob, just recently, Illinois was the last state that did not have concealed carry. And I've led that fight in the General Assembly for 12 years now, and when I was the chief sponsor and finally got that passed where law-abiding gun owners can finally exercise their Second Amendment right. I'm not saying I was something. It just made me proud because of all the hard work I put in, and I knew how many other people really wanted that, to be able to exercise their Second Amendment rights. So, Rob, when I passed concealed carry, that was a big moment for me.
Speaking of the concealed carry law, just the other day I was mentioning to an acquaintance of mine that you were going to be on the show, and immediately the first things out of his mouth was, ask Brandon why it costs so much to get your permit and take the class when it's supposed to be affordable for everyone. Now, me, I don't own a gun, so I really don't know the cost involved with that. Is it really that expensive?
No, it was going to be a lot more, and I would love to talk to your friend because, at one time, the powers that be in Chicago, which, Rob, cannot stand guns. They don't understand guns at all. Trying to beat them and trying to negotiate a bill with them was very tough to do. At one time, the cost was going to be $1,000 a year for the concealed carry license. We got it down to $150 for 5 years. So really, that's $30 a year for 5 years. To me, that is a very small price to pay to be able to protect yourself and your family. So, that was a big deal for me. And then at one time, the hours of training was going to be over 40. We got it down to 16, and I thought that was fair because that's what a lot of states have is around 12 to 16 hours.
So how much does it cost for a training session?
Well, that's the thing. It varies. It just depends if you need 4 hours of training, because out of that 16, Rob, we allow 8 hours if you're a veteran to be counted. Also, like I got Utah concealed carry, so I got credit for 4 hours. Also, I had my hunter safety, which is credit for 4 hours. So, a lot of people just had to do 8 hours, and sometimes it would cost anywhere from $100 to $250 is what I heard.
Let's talk about the applications for this. You've got the paper application versus the online. The online, would the online make it more difficult for someone who's not computer savvy or have internet access like some rural residents?
Yeah, and I got the governor's office and state police were a little upset at me because I took that in consideration, for some of the elderly people that we have in this state. They don't really have access to computers or internet and things like that. So they didn't want to do paper applications at all. But we the downstate caucus got together and we finally realized, hey, we got to do this. So now they're doing it online, but come in June and July, you can start submitting on paper, and that was a big difference for us as well.
Okay, I want to steer away from the serious subject matter as we wrap this show up and stuff. And I want to ask you some fun questions, man. You spoke of your former congressman, your uncle David Phelps. He was a gospel singer. Did the vocal talent branch off to you in the family tree?
I tell you what, I could carry a tune if it was in a bucket. I just didn't get that, but you know what? I still love to hear my dad and uncle sing, and a lot of people do. But I tell you what, David's daughters, now they got the talent, that's for sure.
So you never tried the karaoke? You never embarrassed yourself up on stage?
Oh, I have karaoke. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I'll tell you too. My Uncle Mike's daughters are really good as well. But the guys in the Phelps family, the younger generation, we didn't get that talent.
I was spying on your Facebook page last night, and I seen a picture of you out on a boat somewhere. You were holding, I guess, what you call the rooster fish, man. Are you an avid outdoorsman? Where was that picture taken at?
I am, Rob. I tell you what, that's kind of my release is hunting and fishing. I got to learn the outdoors from my grandpa and my dad and my uncles, and those were some of the best memories I've ever had, Rob. And I tell you what, I value them, and I try to take a lot of kids fishing and hunting because I think kids nowadays they're too much in front of the TV and in front of the video screen. And we never did that. We always went out and hunted and fished, and I cherish that.
Where was that picture taken at?
Well, you know what? I went with my girlfriend and her family for Christmas. We went to Costa Rica, and that's kind of a trophy because not very many people get to catch the rooster fish because they mainly just live in that warm water down there.
Now, I want to ask you, do you get a lot of people on the streets giving you their ideas? Is it tough for you? Is it kind of like being a rock star? I mean, do you get people coming up to you all the time?
Yeah, Rob, and you know what? I really value that because I am not a know-it-all, and I value what people think because that's the way you learn. And I've learned so much from people in my area and also, across this state. So I always try to be a good listener.
So what's coming up for you in the near future? Anything the public should be aware of? Do you still have your golf tournament?
Yeah, I do. I still have a golf tournament. I do in June. I moved it over to Carbondale, Hickory Ridge, because I do represent part of Jackson County now and trying to get to learn the good people over there. But, mainly the thing this year, Rob, is to find out, where we're going to get some more revenue. We've got to work on the budget. The main thing for me still is the coal mines. I still want our coal mine industry to grow and prosper in Illinois. So, and there's a lot of people in Chicago that would like to shut that industry down, but, we're just not going to let them. So, anyway, that's just a lot. There's a lot going on in Springfield that, it's always good to be back home, too.
So what about website and social media? Where can people go and get more information about what you're up to and stuff like that?
Yeah, Rob, thanks for asking that. I do have a website. I'm getting ready to do another one, but it's BrandonPhelps.com, and I am on Facebook, Brandon Phelps. So, people have any ideas, I hope they shoot me an email or just give me a call. My office number is 618-253-4189. I would love to hear from people, Rob, and I really appreciate me being on your show. Thanks for letting me do this.
Hey, man, no problem, man. I really appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday. I know it's just a little short interview, but I know sometimes, like you said, you're a really busy man, and I appreciate it.
Hey, Rob, it means a lot to me, man. You be well. Thank you so much.
25th Hour Radio Show.